Meanwhile, in the Garden of Eden of civilization, otherwise known as the European Union, as described by Joseph Borrell, the EU's foreign minister, well, in the Spanish Parliament this week, they legalised bestiality, as long as the animal does not suffer an injury requiring veterinary attention. And the outstanding champion of the Ukrainian war drive, the war effort of NATO to arm, finance, train, and otherwise bolster the illegitimate regime in Kiev, Peter Tatchell, and video emerges in which he says, and I quote, that sex with 9-year-olds need not necessarily be damaging, as long as the child consents and is not forced or manipulated into the sexual activity with an adult. And in the same European Union, scores of people sailing in a wooden boat across the Mediterranean have died in the drink, fleeing the EU-NATO wars in North Africa, Afghanistan, and elsewhere. Oh, and elsewhere in the garden, Hilary Clinton calls on aides to President Putin to stop him by one means or another, like they stopped Gaddafi, perhaps. Something has gone physically or mentally wrong with him, she says. He has to be stopped. So let me advise any aides to President Putin who might be watching. What happens to people who work for Hilary Clinton? 56 aides or close friends of the Clinton crime family have now committed suicide, including the latest one, who tied himself to a tree, tied an electric cord around his neck, shot himself with a shotgun in the chest, and managed to throw the shotgun away several yards, facing in the direction of himself. It was ruled by the sheriff that it was the worst act of suicide he'd ever seen. Under public ridicule, that has now been amended, withdrawn, and they're looking for a murder suspect. I wonder where they'll look. We'll be talking on the anniversary of the special military occupation and operation otherwise known as the Russian invasion of Ukraine exactly 12 months ago, and we'll be looking at American and British politics in particular. 1 million people will watch this show this week throughout the English-speaking world, and soon the German-speaking world also. Fasten your seatbelts. It's the mother of all talk shows.